Hello, so I'm Guillermo Romero, and this is the third episode of the podcast that rocks. I am very happy to have a very special guest today. Her name is Jenna Henao, and welcome, Jenna. How are
Thank
you?
you. Very
Well,
excited to be here.
me too. We met a couple of years ago. I was working at a UX agency from LA. I might say it's one of the best in the industry, one of the best in California, a multi awarded UX and
hmm
UI agency. Like, best talent in design is there. Like, all kind of talent from Europe, from the US, and from Latin America, all mixed together, working together in great projects. So I really learned a lot. I'm a marketeer, and I'm also specialized in growth, but I learned a lot about user experience, and I learned a lot lately about AI. I am very impressed about the possibilities of AI, where I'm working right now, and also some clients that I've been working as a consultant. We're trying to find out which is the best use of AI for each specific business, because AI is not only automation, it's not only prompting images, it's about creating systems that build efficiency for everyone. And now everyone can participate on this. Everyone can propose ideas. Not everyone has to be an engineer, to create a system, and that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, I really want us to spread this message because the things are changing very fast at a very fast pace, and we're gonna see this in the upcoming couple of months, if not weeks. So that's why I'm so excited of having Gina today. So I would like to know a little bit more about you. I know you're the founder of your startup operations, where you help with service-based business to scale through strong operational systems and virtual assistant support.
Yeah. Well, funny story. We both worked at the same UX company.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But yeah, my name is Jenna, founder of Your Startup Operations. We essentially staff, train remote operations assistants all around the world for small business owners in the United States. So, quick little intro. And then over the last 10 years is where my operational experience came from, starting with Wander, the UX agency, actually, where I would do a lot of hiring, training, remote talent all around the world.
Hmm.
And you're going to get talent just as good, if not better, than the talent you're getting in the United States, but obviously a fraction of the cost.
We were talking about this before off camera. So, now there's a lot of nearshoring in between Mexico, US, and even Canada. And
Mm-hmm.
you've been living in those three countries. So
Mm-hmm.
that's super cool. That's dope. One of my previous guests, he's working on the new NAFTA, this trade agreement between Mexico,
Mm.
US, and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know, in your experience now living in Mexico, do you think this nearshoring has been beneficial for Mexico and the US? How do you see the talent nowadays? Now that you are in your startup operations.
Yeah. Well, out of all the hiring I've done all around the world, from Asia, Europe to Latam, I
Mm-hmm.
actually think for the United States, and it depends on what kind of roles and specialties and technicalities that you're hiring for. But the nice thing about Mexico is I feel like there's a lot more similarities in the culture between the US and Mexico that they
Yes.
share versus maybe the US and Colombia, US and obviously Asia. So that's been made it easier in the staffing, the training, and kind of like placing Mexican talent into the US companies just because of the similarities in cultures, especially with, kind of the hustle, the work
Yes.
ethics, the productivity, which you find in other areas, but I see it the most in Mexico.
Okay. I feel like we like to go the extra mile. Like, we always go the extra mile, like Americans and Mexicans. And we
There's
don't,
that hustle culture.
yeah, we love this hustle.
uh huh.
And we didn't know that we grew up like being very similar. Like, we were watching like Malcolm in the Middle. We were
Mm
watching
hmm. Mm hmm.
Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. Like, you guys didn't know that we were watching the same, but
Mm
translated in Spanish,
hmm.
right, or
Mm
with subtitles. Like, we were eating from Wendy's, from McDonald's, from KFC, so
hmm.
from
Mm hmm.
Pizza Hut for years and years. So this has been also like part of our culture, even if we don't accept, or even if it's low key, but it is in the end. So we are very similar. I remember when I was living in Europe, like,
Mm
the first time I saw another American fellow, I was like, oh, thanks God. It's like, I know you're
hmm.
American and I'm Mexican, but we
yeah.
have so much more similarities. Like, we know this breakfast is not good enough.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I would like to ask. Let's go into the virtual assistant services. Why do you think they are different, or what makes your approach different from other virtual assistant services?
Yeah, so what makes us different is that we focus both on the process and the people piece in the operations of the business. So a lot of VAs or staffing agencies, they'll just say, "Hey, what kind of person do you need?" Write up a job description, find the person, staffing, and then there you go. Like it's
Hmm.
your job from here to train them, conduct the performance reviews, and do everything else. What we do is we believe for successful operations in any business, it's always two pieces, which is process and people.
Hmm.
So we come into these small businesses, help develop the processes to then staff to then plug and play the person into. So I think it's really important in setting up any, founder or business owner for success, especially a lot of founders, they don't even know where to start and like what to delegate, what do I need a VA for, and they might not even have the organization or processes in their business to have someone ready to come in. So that's what we do. We process map, we create SOPs, and then we have American management that's helping to onboard and train the VA in the background to set both the client and the VA up for success.
Nice. Okay. You build a US-led company
Mm-hmm.
and with a global team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are very good with. You have this hunch for talent. So
Mm-hmm.
how does that translate into better results for clients? How do you help your clients? Like, there's a new founder coming to your desk, and he has this idea. And how do you map this out? Like, do you start visualizing the kind of talent that he will require, depending on the project?
Yes. So usually founders that come to us, they know that they need help, but
Yeah.
they just don't know how to articulate it or they don't even know where to start.
Mm.
So that's where I come in the initial, stages of working together where I'll ask all the questions I need. So super easy for the founder. You sit there and just talk, which they all love to do.
Okay.
And then I'll get everything that I need to like produce that job description and produce all the things that the virtual assistant can be doing. And then I help to kind of put that all together into an actual action plan
Mm-hmm.
for the VA to come and start executing on. And I think a lot of founders that come to us, they just don't even know where to start. And they think it's just easier and quicker for them to just continue to do it themselves,
Okay.
rather than just spending the 1 hour, 2 hours, however many couple hours at the beginning, with me to extract all of that and then train it and hand it off to a VA.
Okay. Do you have any favorite industries, like in the world of startups?
Yeah,
Which are your
events.
favorite?
Yeah, we've really been niching into events now.
Okay.
So specifically working with like event vendors. So think catering companies, floral companies, DJ companies that are staffing. It's
Okay.
such a fun industry, and I feel like these are the business owners that need the most help. A lot of these founders come from, the hospitality background. They have a passion for, curating these experiences, but they might lack the business side of it, the financials, the operations, the hiring, but they have this like big passion and just loving what they do. And I found a really great balance in, working with these founders and also having built an events business from 6 to 7 figures in the past. It's been, yeah, an industry we're really niching into now.
My team, for example, they are very advanced with LLMs. Like they are used to work with GPT, Gemini, and then go
Mm-hmm.
in cloud code and then create all kind of different artifacts, and
Mm-hmm.
they really like that, right? And some of them are copywriters, and where we are struggling a little bit is telling them you have to put some passion in the end. I mean, you are using all kind of tools, you produce amazing content, where in the end this needs like a human touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the services that you just mentioned, that these are like businesses that historically are used to handcraft everything. Like they
Mm-hmm.
put attention in every detail. You see there the founder or the owner like putting on the very last cherry on top of the
Mm-hmm.
product, and that's why what made them so great. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's that what built the brand name for each of these services and businesses. So I think that for the first time we are seeing them scale up with the help of technology and
Mm-hmm.
systems. So that I think that that is a great achievement. So how does it feel to you, like transforming this? Because you are transforming businesses that are so common nowadays, and you're bringing them to the next level. It sounds cliche, but you're actually doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were also talking about AI at the
Yeah,
beginning and the
yeah. We
excitement
love
and
AI.
the yeah, trend of that. And um, I, especially in the events world, it is such a people industry. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like you're never going to go to events and want to like socialize with a bunch of robots. And
Right.
even if you go to an event, you don't want like a robot serving you drinks. You go for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And curating those experiences really come from the, like you said, the touches of a human,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's something we've been doing internally as well is training our VAs to utilize AI. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, VAs are going to be replaced by AI," and I agree to a certain point. But it's also, I think, going to transform the way, the type of work that they're going to be doing. You know, so instead of all this manual admin work that a lot of our VAs are currently supporting in, now it's shifting to how are they learning to use AI to automate this admin work for them, and they're almost becoming like AI VA managers. You know,
Yes.
which produces 100x the output. We all know, but at the same cost for the one person, plus $20 a month or whatever it is for these different AI tools.
Yeah. In the past, I remember like working in at a marketing agency, for example. If you like want to create some, I don't know, some amazing document, I would need the help of a copywriter, of a visual designer,
Right.
of an art director, like
Right.
all stuff, right? And they are necessary. They are still necessary. But now I can just play around with very fast ideas. Like I go GPT, like, hey, what do you think about this? Can we create like a brainstorming about around this? And then I have everything, and then I just, I don't know, gather with my team for 10 minutes, and they got the idea, and they can do it like 10 times better because we save like 2 hours of brainstorming and researching, you know?
So I have a question for you because you're in marketing. How are you utilizing AI in the creative aspects? Like, have you, because in operations and admin, it's like very black and white. You know, you do something from A to Z and there's no other way around that. But I feel like marketing creative work is like the colors of the rainbows.
Right.
So, how are you utilizing AI in marketing now than you were before with, people coming up with ideas and such?
Well, there's two things. One is the content intelligence. This is how I call it. It's a master document where everything is stated about your brand or product. So now content intelligence helps you a lot because it's a document that is alive and it's gathering information all the time about your competitors, about the performance of your brand, and it's also suggesting your next steps. So you always have this. Hay que cortar esto. Bueno, esto lo voy a cortar cuando lo edite. So you always have this instant snap of your brand. So you can wake up every day, look at this content intelligence document, and tell your team, okay, this is where we are. This is where we're gonna go. This is the next goal. And this makes the things much easier for me because in the past it used to take probably a week of creating a document like this to work my team. And the second one is that I can create all kind of tools to generate content. So I still have a great content team, but I can create the tools for them so that makes things so much easier. Like, for instance, if they are creating content for social media or for B2B on LinkedIn or for a blog post, they just go in the tool, they generate the content, and then they just have to go in the fine tuning. And instead of taking them like, I don't know, 2 hours to copyright, that now it takes 10 minutes. And they are still good. They are still giving this human touch.
Yep. So whether it's operations or marketing,
Exactly.
AI is doing the chunk of the work, but you still need that human for the final layer of
That's
revealing.
correct. Yeah, that's what makes the difference. So what are the biggest operational mistakes that founders make when they are scaling? You just told me that they come with a few ideas and they might make some mistakes. When you are a founder, you want to be involved in every single thing. So I know there's going to be mistakes.
Well, I think the biggest mistakes that founders make when they're looking to hire and onboard someone is just not having the system or path for them in place when they join. Like, imagine when you're starting a job and they just said, okay, like, go do your job now, go get started. Of course you're going to be like, where do I start? What do I do? And then the founder's like, oh, they're not good enough or they fucked up. It's like, you didn't give them anything, to even give them a chance to succeed. So I think having the proper onboarding to set them up for success in terms of, hey, here's what your first 30 days would look like. I'm expecting you to, I don't know, create this SOP document, or you're in your first 30 days, if you're hired as a recruiter, your job is to hire this person and here's the logins for the tools, just giving them all the tools to do their job, right? It's like someone telling you go build a house with no tools, like how are you going to do it?
Right,
Right? Versus someone
exactly.
saying, here's all the tools, here's a manual. You're giving them that roadmap to success, and I think that's what a lot of founders fail in, especially their first time hiring. And then they're like, oh, the person didn't work out. Why? Because, well, you didn't give them anything to work off of.
And then they need to be conscious about this 30, 60, 90 plan. They need to have very clear expectations on what is going to be the output about this 30, 60, 90, right? So what would you what would you suggest? What would you tell a founder that after 30 days thinks that one of the resources is failing just because it's not hitting the bar enough according to the standards of the company? Would you suggest this person to give more time or to onboard properly or just get rid of the resource? What would you do in this case?
Great question.
I'm telling you from my experience.
I have two answers. I feel like any operational issue is either a process issue or a person issue. So maybe the person failed because the process wasn't set up, wasn't there, or wasn't great. Or the process is there and it's the person. You know, they just are not meant for the job. So I think first kind of identifying that, and if you identify it is the person, you know, you generally have a sense within the first week, I would say, if
Okay.
they're going to be good at the job or not. And so by 30 days, you're really stretching it out. And my suggestion is by 30 days, if it didn't work out, that's the great way to kind of cut the paths. But obviously in the 30, 60, 90-day roadmap as well, setting realistic goals for them to achieve.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think of that?
I don't know. I really wanted your opinion on this because I agree. Sometimes from the first week, you know when it's not a match.
Yeah.
So you really know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like, having a process is like having recipes. You know, imagine someone doesn't know how to cook, but you give them a recipe. Can they follow that recipe? And then
Yeah.
you test it around with 10 people. If all 10 people can do the recipe, some might produce it a little better than others because maybe some people have cooked before. So they already have some of the skill sets and the knowledge and what to do, how to cut things versus someone who doesn't. But they have the same set of instructions. So by the end of it, is the output going to be at least somewhat similar, right? But if you have that and all 10 people can't follow it, then you know it's a clear, okay,
Right.
process issue. I clearly wasn't clear in what the steps were or what needed to get done. So I like to use that analogy.
I believe a lot in talent. Just because sometimes I think some people they have different mindset, different way of learning, different skills, and maybe they require different times. So maybe they will not excel at baking this cake on the first week, but maybe on the second week. So I want to believe in them. I like to give them a shot sometimes. But yeah, you're right. Like 90% of the time, first week you know if it's a match or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like some people are just better at some things than other. I'm better at
Exactly.
cooking than baking. You know, baking, even though you like baking's like a science, and it's like the very clear it has to be this amount. And I just suck at doing that. I like to be a little bit more like, you know, with cooking you can get away with adding a little bit extra more salt or this and that, and it can still turn out good. But yeah, and that's kind of then goes down to skill set and people's just natural abilities as well and what they
Exactly.
keen into.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I am colorblind. I can see just a few colors, or 5 or 6 colors, and I've been in marketing for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
When I tell people, it's like, wow, how you manage, like, I don't know, graphic designers
Right.
and yeah, visual whatever, content editors. I had to learn by heart. Like there's something that it's called the chromatic circle. So I had to memorize it. So I know in which place is every color, and I read the colors by the context. So I kind of know this table is white because it's a table, and they are usually white. It shouldn't be pink, for example. This is how I think. So I force myself to know what color is depending on the context. And that's crazy. That's why, for example, in marketing, sometimes I like to believe in people like probably they don't see these colors at first, but they will learn. Right? I believe in this process. Just because I went through it, so I like to believe in everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's definitely an aspect of that as well, of course. You know, training people and giving them time, and if you give the right training tools and
Exactly.
hold the person's hand, which we do with our VAs too. Like a lot of them walk into the jobs not having the industry experience. We try and hire for industry experience, but sometimes like if we know they have the right attitude, the right skill sets, like people can be trainable in many different things. And
Exactly.
natural abilities will just make you learn quicker, be a little bit better than someone else, but that doesn't mean that it's not attainable or possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to know your vision on AI for the next year, and what would you suggest to the founders that will look at this episode? Do you have any good tips that they will bring home?
Ooh, it's hard to say because I feel like I'm
Takeaways.
still like dabbling with AI too,
Okay.
but I will say in a year from now, my vision with your startup operations is we are able, like our VAs are able to build AI agents to do a lot of the repetitive tasks that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, create them into AI VA managers. I wonder if there'll be a different name for that, but like assistants that know how to manage all these AI tools. So what I can provide to the founders that we serve is at the same cost, you're getting 10x the output. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my vision, what I would like to do with AI in terms of how or what tools and all that. I feel like things are changing so fast and I'm still learning. I'm just dabbling into like Claude Code now from,
Yeah.
Claude Chat to Claude Cowork. And I feel like Claude Code is like the next step. So still learning. And I feel like the whole world, is learning some at quicker paces than others.
Yeah.
But I definitely, don't want to be left behind and I don't want my team to be left behind
All
as
right.
well.
I love Cloud. I use the three products. I
Yeah.
use Cloud Code when I feel like a little engineer. Like from
Yeah.
my past experience working with developers, I just go there
Yeah.
and run all kind of experiments. And Cowork is just like, sending like daily reports and I don't know, weekly tasks.
Yeah.
It's connected with my email and my
Yeah.
Slack and whatever channel I'm working with, and it's so efficient. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and the chat is just like more competitive, and I think it works better and it feels more human than GPT or
Mm-hmm.
Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's gonna be new positions new roles that don't exist right now for AI, like AI manager, AI
Oh,
supervisor? AI,
totally. I'm already
yeah.
seeing it. We
Uh,
recruit for a couple of SaaS clients as well.
mm-hmm.
And they're starting, and it's still so new. And as we're recruiting in the market as well, it's still such a new talent. But there was one title I remember one of my clients called it AI tinker, I think.
Tinker. Okay.
Like someone just who can tinker around with AI.
Uh-huh.
And I remember they're like, yeah, I want to hire like a AI tinker. And I'm like, what is that? And it's like just someone who can tinker around with like AI and, like just build more AI stuff all around in our business. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I think that's a very new job title and job ad. And that's something we'll probably see more and more of. I have other business owner friends that says they've tried to also hire these AI tinkers or AI people, but because it's still so new and only you really know your business best, I feel like a lot of people just end up kind of self-learning and then
Yeah.
just doing it themselves. And AI's at a point like Claude Code. Like I'm not a technical person at all, but I feel like if I sat into it, the same thing, just learn and kind of
Mm-hmm.
figure it out with the basics. So I feel like a lot of people will end up just gaining their own self AI skills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to see what's next with
Yeah,
AI and
me
cloud
too.
and yeah, and about the new positions. So yeah, let me know when you
Yeah.
get a request for new AI positions. Like, hey, Memo, now we have an AI
I
bumper.
will. Yeah, I've messaged you before. I'm like, Bimbo, I got these
any
positions. Do you know anyone?
any good ideas for my business or
Yeah.
my work? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we want to know about these new AI positions. Okay, so it's been great to spend this time with you. We
Yeah.
finally made it. I enjoy a lot this episode. I love AI and I love that we work together at the same company somehow. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So it was the first time that I was working with an American company. The second time. So
Uh-huh.
it's been a great experience. I learned a lot about design. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'm very happy to have you here. So
Oh, well, thank you for
thank
having
you.
me.
How can we find you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry we have a very long name to type up, but you can find us on Instagram or on our website, but by just searching yourstartupoperations.com.